How dare you?
You'll wait. Just wait.
All right.
There's Enrico.
Finally here.
No worries.
There he is.
I gotta get you down into the.
Figured you were just wrapping up Brazil.
There you are.
Yep. Pretty much. Yeah, when I said, I have 40 minutes left, it was like, yeah, but that's when I get home from work.
Right.
Actually get to it.
Waiting for YouTube, and then I'll. Oh, there it is.
This is great. I'm having a hard time with the
Oh, it's just me. Yay.
grid view. There we go. Float. Exit. Enter full screen. Why is doing Skype every week the worst?
We should really switch to Zoom at some point.
Yeah, we got to figure this out. Oh, there we go. I can just place you guys. Never mind. Here we go.
I got the Brazil music in my head. La da da, la da da da.
There we go.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Where should I go? I'm gonna go up in the corner.
Tonight.
There we go. That's where I'm gonna live.
Yeah, where are you going? I'm like, hold on.
Now we'll go right there. Is that weird if I'm right there? I feel like I'm right in Eric's head. It'll
I'm
work.
gonna go turn my overhead light on before I forget.
No, I think you're okay.
Right in my head, do 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 do. There's some song. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking.
My hair.
Out of my head, ow,
Okay.
What the fuck? What am I thinking of?
I can hear it. It's a Here comes the copyright strike.
Yeah, that one.
Gosh.
My
Luckily, my memory's just off enough that we won't get sued.
right. All right. Shall we, Slate? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
That sounded
That's
perfect on
That
my
that was a good one.
Minutes and 30 seconds. Welcome to Smoking Hot Nerds.
I'm gonna have a
Yeah,
listen
2
to
minutes, 30
the.
seconds.
I'm gonna listen to the stream real quick and make sure that I'm not sounding weird. 1 minute.
We always sound weird.
All right. Shall we, Slate?
Do I sound
1.
weird now?
There we go. I'm just blowing out everything. I think my mic's too hot, but whatever. We're just gonna let it roll.
So hot.
It's like too quiet or too hot. There's no
Yeah,
like
always.
just right.
Hang on, I'm gonna bring. Oh, there we go. Just a touch. I'm gonna bring you down to
You
7.
sound-
So we should create a mic brand called Goldilocks microphones.
Because it's
It's
just
not
right.
too hot.
Sweet spot.
Nice. I love that idea. Done. We're doing it tomorrow.
I was watching something where, yeah, they were having somebody interview with a microphone, and they were like doing the interview from back here, and you could just feel like their audio tech tearing his hair out, saying,
Stressed
"Get
out.
closer," or "We need to like if you want to get that far away, I've got that mic. You just," and then they'd be like,
Yeah.
Just a
and
boom
then
mic.
like here,
It's the worst. Uh-oh.
would you drop?
Facebook's not working. Hang on, let me
We were too late. They kicked us out.
hop in there. Yeah, right? I think I had the wrong stream key in there. There
To
we
our-
go. That should work.
Listening audience, someday maybe we'll get this under control.
Well, I know we had 2 weeks, 2 weeks since the last one, and I've forgotten everything.
I
it
thought
2
this
weeks
was
or
just
1 week?
built into our schedule of the way we do things.
This
Yeah.
is a running gag. This is the longest con.
The first
Ever.
9 minutes at least is going to be a you-know-what show the entire time. There
A
we go.
presidential debate.
Now we're going.
Mhm.
Oh, man. Yeah,
We'll save that
one
for
of these
later.
days it'll be the smoking hot politic talking guys, but for now, yeah, we'll stick with Brazil, the 1985 movie, all about what happens when a bunch of people do drugs and then make a movie.
Bunch of stupid money, and we're like, we need to spend it. I agree. Let's spend it.
It's an interesting time, isn't it? Because we're talking about a time where Monty Python was kind of at its full force. Tom Stoppard as a playwright and a writer was at his full force, and so it was sort of, you could tell that this movie was them getting carte blanche to do whatever they wanted, and they just should not have done what they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got a blank check.
Yeah.
I love it. I think this is the first time where I'm gonna like a thing and no one else will.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Not
So-
that it's not like it's a Terry Gilliam movie.
Yeah, it was
So-
just wacky enough for you.
Yeah. I think certainly visually, I dug it.
Well, maybe you should give us the synopsis.
Since you're the freshest.
No, I should not.
There's
Like,
like
yeah.
3 synopses you could get.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You get,
Is anyone
I'll
feeling
give you
it?
Well, I'll try one. I haven't done one yet. I don't
I'll
think.
give you the back of the box version.
Yeah.
And then you can give the real one.
The actual version.
Yeah, the back of the box is it would be super cheeky. It'd be something like, downtrodden by the plight of man, working a dead-end job, one protagonist seeks to find his one love in a society that doesn't want him to win.
Oh yeah, that's great.
In a fascist bureaucratic society.
That's the trailer right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I tried to describe this movie this week to someone who's not seen it, and it didn't go well because
I was hoping you would say to your niece and nephews.
they were like, "Wait, what? They just messed up his name? I don't understand." Yeah, it's a hard movie to describe because, well, so I'll go for the actual synopsis, then I'll give you my back of the box. Essentially, the movie starts out with so we're in a dystopian society, a dystopian future where everything is sort of connected. For some reason, the world is kind of reliant on this ductwork that exists in all of these homes. I'm assuming because of the atmosphere is bad and all these kind of things. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen the movie, so maybe there was something there. But essentially, it starts with sort of the Gestapo of the time entering an apartment building and taking someone away for a crime that he seemingly committed. And it's obviously a somewhat poor family, and they do. And it's a very moment where they put him in a straitjacket and bind him and then zip him out, and basically they terminate you, they lobotomize you for whatever crime you commit in this society, and then just out of nowhere that person's gone out of the world, and that's it. So introducing our sort of the star of the film, forget his name now, what's his name? Jonathan Pryce. I was going to say Jonathan Ross, but that's a different British guy. Jonathan Pryce is introduced as a person who works in the government for this, in this sort of dystopian society, and he sort of discovers that they actually killed the wrong guy, that they were looking for a person with a very similar name, and so see what I'm doing? It's going off the rails already because it has nothing to do with anything.
Well, that's still the setup of the basic.
Yeah. So Jonathan Pryce's character actually meets the person who was supposed to have been killed, who's kind of a bit of a what would you call him, a cat thief, a bit of a ninja character.
He's like a rogue plumber.
Yeah, rogue. Yeah, rogue plumber. Yeah, vigilante
He
plumber.
doesn't want to do paperwork because this whole world is just pure bureaucracy, and
Right.
there must be a million forms of paperwork. And if you want to go here, well, you have to go to this other office before you can go to this office, before you can go to that. And it's endless red tape world. So he Robert De Niro wants to just be free, man. He just wants to do his job.
Yeah, it's
without
played.
filling out forms.
It's played
the note
inexplicably by Robert De Niro.
I took the note that De Niro is like a heating engineer vigilante.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right.
And
He's the Batman of HVAC. Yeah.
who just drills holes in walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what we see along the way, something that the movie keeps returning to, is Jonathan Pryce's character has these grandiose dreams of himself and this sort of nameless, faceless woman or she's not faceless, she's got a face, but he doesn't know who she is, who's sort of the love of his life. And these are big, like, grandiose dreams in the sense that, like, he flies in on giant wings and he fights these baby-faced characters, and it's sort of the opposite of the world that he lives in. He's this big hero in his dream world. It's almost like an apocalyptic sort of dream world, like in a heaven apocalyptic way. He's an angel sent to save this woman that he loves.
He's like this Icarus type angel warrior looking dude.
Angel warrior, not plumber. So the movie turns into a movie about him trying to find the woman in his dream, and she happens to be the upstairs neighbor of the family who initially at the very beginning of the movie got raided and killed. Bear in mind, the entire time this movie is a comedy. So we're trying to. I'm describing this dystopian, like, Children of Men, Alfonso Cuarón type of film, but it's really written and directed by Tom Stoppard, who wrote Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, amongst other crazy, wacky plays. And also, Terry Gilliam. So we're talking about Monty Python meets Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, turns into a movie, and essentially, Jonathan Pryce's character finds his lady love, and they are going to live happily ever after. And then he's suddenly taken by the Gestapo, and he's about to be lobotomized because he's broken the rules by. I forget what he broke the rules about. What was it that he did wrong?
He erased her from the system.
Oh, that's right, because he wanted to live with her. 'Cause she was the target, right, of the government. Yeah. So he erased her from the system so they could live happily ever after. The guy who does the lobotomizing and kind of does the general killing, the mass euthanization of the people, is played by
Michael
Palin, who is hilariously the French guy in Monty Python, right? No, he's not the French guy. Is he? No, he's not. Doesn't matter. So, anyways, he's
one of the crew, though.
Yeah, but he's just one of the Monty Python guys, and he's kind of a friend to Jonathan Pryce's character. Throughout the movie, you see them interacting here and there very pleasantly. It's all just really awkward, weird exchanges, so that by the end of the movie, he's about to be lobotomized, and then boom, De Niro's character drops in on a wire with other people, other vigilante plumbers, and they're shooting the place up, and they rescue him, and he lives happily ever after with his lady love. Except he doesn't, because what really happened is that he did get lobotomized, and basically he's living in the life of his mind from here on out. Which begged the question, was he living the life of his mind the entire time? Was the entire thing just a big story that he told himself in his brain?
When did it switch over?
When did he get lobotomized? Exactly. Because he was an enemy of the state about a third through the movie, so it could have happened then, and we just didn't know it. So the back of the box version of this is Jonathan Pryce tries to find a girl. Period. That's it. That's all the movie is. It's complete and utter nonsense. And it's heralded as one of the greatest British films of all time, and it's not. It's a giant trash heap of self-indulgence. It's right there with Synecdoche, New York. It's like right up there with it. Just an 80s version of it. Eric, I'm really excited to hear what you think, Eric, because you liked it.
I did. Now,
he's like all nervous about it.
No, I'm trying to frame this. Certainly going into watching it, I had seen other Terry Gilliam. I haven't seen all of them, though. Like 12 Monkeys, I haven't seen. Fear and Loathing, I haven't seen. But it's like I grew up, I watched... Nico's like, what? Like Baron Munchausen, I watched that. That's wacky,
absolutely
disjointed. I watched his the final Man from La Mancha, Lost in La Mancha. He finally made that.
Man who killed Don Quixote? Oh no, that's somebody else.
Yeah, whatever.
That's him.
Was that him? Okay.
Movie he's been trying to make for like 20 years and always has like bad luck. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lost in La Mancha. About the failing of the original version. Anyways, so I've seen some of his stuff. Enough of his stuff to know that he's very good at having all these threads happening. And maybe they come together, maybe they don't. It's probably going to kind of be a big mess. Who knows how developed the characters will be? Who knows how their arcs will be? He can be a mess, but there can be some lovely visuals, even if they're not tied together. So this movie, I feel, was like production-wise, locations, setting, kind of the world he created. I actually really dug it. I thought that was pretty great. Mm-hmm. It's like a weird mix of 50s with I don't know what the hell, because it starts off with these old TVs. That's like, this is going to be like retro,
super tiny TVs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, later on, right? Super tiny TVs, but yeah, they've got the it's like the RoboCop looking through the TV window, and then it explodes.
Well, and that's the thing. It's retro. It's super retro now.
Or maybe 40s.
But bear in mind, the 80s were obsessed with the 50s. Like, yeah, and like look at Karate Kid. Like the car that he got was like the 57 Chevy. Like they were obsessed with because
the way we are with the 80s.
Yeah, because it was getting into that. Think about the Swingers. Swingers was the peak of like the 50s nostalgia, with the big collars and ska music and swing music coming back and things like that. So like this is where it's happening. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like it's when the generation when something was cool, and then the children of that generation are now old enough to afford. Right, that's why you get these like 20-year swings of things, is because now the kids that were like, this is cool, but I can't afford it. Well, now they can, so they bring it back up.
30 years later, the kids' nostalgia, now they're the ones producing things and telling you what's cool.
Yeah.
Yep, so they can force it. Well, I guess, this one, it's 50s, maybe it's even 40s, because again, with the whole kind of fascist and bureaucratic angle of this movie, everyone's in suits, double-breasted suits, fedoras, they've got trench coats. Every guy dresses the exact same. Yeah. They all have the same colored suits. There's even the joke. Is it Michael Palin? Yeah, when he goes and visits, Jonathan Pryce visits Michael Palin, is essentially asking if he tortured a guy to death. And when he walks in and Michael Palin's got like a lab coat on or something, and there's blood all over it, and he's just like, oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah. All that humor that was very dark and twisted, I ate it up. Yeah. So I think that's another reason I was finding myself laughing plenty with the twisted humor. Mm-hmm. But the Palin joke. Yeah.
It took a minute to warm up, because when the TVs blow up, and then you hear about all the terrorist bombings or whatever, and then you get that weird office scene that sets up the whole premise of a fly buzzing around, and then that's like they're printing. I think it's just debt. I think it's just credits. They're printing it. And it's got people's names on it. And the fly flies in, hits the typewriter, smears the name. So of these 100+ tickets, it's like turns from like stump to shump or something like that.
It turns from Tuttle, the De Niro character, to Buttle.
That's what it was. Right.
The guy that got killed.
Gets captured and lobotomized or killed.
Right. So you're trying to pay attention, because it's like, this is important. I can tell this is important. Let me see what's going on. And then it flashes by so fast. And then once you realize that it's like a bureaucracy thing, you're like, oh, well, this is an easy fix. But then it's like nobody wants to touch it. And
because there's so much bureaucracy. Yeah. Everyone can just go in a circle of blaming each other and nothing happens. It's like I don't know, like a it's like a pro-Trump, wet dream of like, see what'll happen if you just let government get big. This is what happens.
Yeah.
It just gets sloppy and everything's chaos.
Yeah, it took me a minute.
Nothing's no one's job.
To warm up to it, because I was trying to pay too much like smart kid attention to it. and then I realized I need to treat this like it's like an SNL skit or like when Wayne's World first came out. If you watch Wayne's World, that is a bunch of SNL skits smashed together where they're not on the stage. So it's a bunch of skits, and this is exactly what this is. It's a bunch of funny little skits that they strung together with the main character. But that's what it is. That's the scene with the lobotomizer. when he goes to meet the boss in finance and they do the stupid cartoon walking in and out of the rooms with like the buzz of people following the boss, and they go in a door and come out of a different door, and like the mom getting like the plastic surgery all stretched out, and like they're at dinner and there's an explosion, and instead of they just put up like a barrier so they can't see it.
That's what I love. It's like, yeah, go ahead.
Like, I think that's like my favorite moment of the movie is when they're blowing up the restaurant, the band keeps trying to restart, and then there's another explosion.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's such a, they have a great English eye on the comedy, because then again at that same dinner scene, the two moms are obviously high society and they're trying to get their kids to fall in love and get married to maintain society, and the one girl unfortunately is just awkward, but she's really not into him, but she can't say that for some reason. But then they order food and they're like, oh, what do you have? And it's these like giant menus, and it's just like, oh, the number 7. And then it shows up and you're like, okay, and then it's just like this glop of
3
food.
mounds of glop, and no matter what number they order, it's like, here's your steak tartare or whatever.
Yeah,
it's 3 pink blobs.
It was just so funny because he was so adamant, like, you have to say it. You have to say what I need you to say it.
We have rules.
The
we
number
need
7.
to follow the rules. We have regulations.
Yeah.
What was the when he's in the truck after he gets captured and he's trying to find Jill, his love interest. He thinks she's been captured and zipped up in a suit, and the 2 police officers, the Gestapo guys, have their helmets off and they're like chit chatting, small talk, and they're like, hey, what are you? Hey, here, what are you doing? He's like opening up all the face masks. They're like, you can't do that. No, don't do that. Okay, and he goes and just smacks someone, knocks him out, and he's like, hey, regulations.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys laugh? Or yeah?
I laughed.
Okay.
There was definitely some weird stuff. It was also very weird seeing a bunch of now currently very famous actors. Like when Robert De Niro showed up, it was like, this has got to be his first film, right?
Oh, no. He was huge then.
Yeah, he was.
But I'm talking about like in context of making this movie, it's like, you know better, right? Maybe you don't. Like, I don't. Yeah. I'm so confused.
Oh, no, it's Terry Gilliam. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm. Oh God. And that's what I thought. Yeah.
He probably
Godfather. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, because he had done pretty similar movies up until that point. I guess he probably just wanted to do something like on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Oh sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking of Pacino? Wait. Is he? Of
course he's in The Godfather.
Oh, 2. Yeah. Gotcha.
I think the other thing that I started doing was I was thinking about how
young Joel.
How we were probably not going to like it, but if you cut this movie apart, the amount of influence that it's had on other films is bonkers. Like I think I told you guys last week or a week before that when the theme song kicked in, I'm like, how I know this? Why do I know this? And it's because it's in the Jackbox games, in like their Quibbage or whatever, or Quiplash or something like that. It's in there. I'm like, oh, okay. And they just like twisted the words to fit the game. But then even I was thinking about his dream sequence where he's
Zabril.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, where like he's having his little flight fantasy, and ends up fighting this like huge shogun, and how much that was like the fight scene in Sucker Punch,
Right.
or how like the little babyface monsters things felt very like Jim Henson Muppet, like Labyrinth or Dark Crystal.
There's very Dark Crystal
and,
moment. Yeah.
And yeah, even like the whole bureaucracy thing. And I'm trying to think the name of the movie, the one with Most Def. It's based on the book, the motorcycle
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah, the Hitchhiker's Guide. So like even that, they have like the bureaucracy joke about like you need form double F-C47. So yeah, it's not great, but you can't argue with the influence that is definitely just like resonated off of this thing.
Yeah.
And it's
that song, so there's the orchestral part of the song, the dun 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 dun. That thing is in a lot of stuff, and I was trying so hard to figure out why I knew it so well, and it was because it was the trailer for WALL-E. When WALL-E came out, it was like the end of that, and so dun dun dun, and then when WALL-E faded in, and this was like Pixar at its like, this was Pixar's Lion King, where we were just like, blah, it was so good. Yeah, so that's why it was so indelibly printed on my brain grapes.
Yeah, and that's what I mean is that it's
your member berries.
Yes.
This thing like just it fell into the water, and its ripples have gone out, and everyone's kind of snacked up little pieces of it.
But for you guys, that was a turd that hit the water.
Yeah, it was definitely a turd.
It was applause.
So Brian, as a person who's a huge, massive fan of like Back to the Future, which is what, circa 1985, Ghostbusters was 85, like a lot of good things were coming out around then. What did you hate about it?
About 1985 or about this movie?
I thought it was up its own ass, which that's kind of what the 80s did most of the time.
Yeah.
But okay, well, here's what I think this movie is. Again, I got Blade Runner feels from it. I feel like Terry Gilliam went to see Blade Runner, came home and rolled up a big fatty, got stoned out of his mind, and 3 days later he had the script for this movie.
Yeah, there were definitely drugs involved.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. I've got a few cringe moments here. I mean, like the Brick Man in the Dream. I don't remember what that was because again, it was 2 weeks ago. Tape on the dog's butt. And then
that was good.
Like we finally get to it. Suddenly turns into. I know he's like kind of chasing after his lady love, but like he tracks her down in real life. Well, maybe it was real life. Maybe it was lobotomy life. And suddenly, like, they're into each other when he, like, basically jumps on her truck and won't go away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there wasn't that many close-ups. It was really hard for me to engage with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was really hard to understand what was happening. I don't think there was a whole lot to understand. I didn't enjoy it. I just thought it was dumb and...
Well, it's a very difficult filmmaking style for me to sit and enjoy nowadays because it's just the way that it's shot, the way that it's lit is just very typical of that sort of mid-70s to mid-80s sort of like look. And then the explosions, like, was there no such thing as bass back then? Because every time an explosion would happen, it's like, yeah, there's nothing there, no substance. And then it suffered again from the Bill Murray effect, which is just average to below average looking guy getting the girl, at the end. And so it just was one of those things where it's like, ugh, I don't know. I would say, so if we want to talk cringe moments, my cringe moment 1,000,000,000% was, so he'd erased his lady love from the system, so she no longer existed. And they're in her bedroom or a bedroom. And
is that his mom's house?
It's his mom's house. Is that where they were? Oh,
Yep.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. And she says, would you care for some narcolepsy?
Necrophilia.
I just screwed that one up. Yeah.
Dead, yeah.
Yeah, you just narco.
Yeah. Let's go to sleep. Yeah, the
are you crossing streams with Deuce Bigelow?
As soon as that line was delivered,
I kind of barfed a little bit. I was like, It was it was so on the nose.
I was like, oh yeah, it's a Terry Gilliam. That's a Python's twist on hey, let's make love, but let's.
For me, that line was like okay, I can finish this movie because it's like if they're gonna do something literally as bad as that,
they're going that
all
deep.
right, I'll watch this one pan out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
There's only like 5 minutes left at that point.
Yeah, I know. There wasn't much left, that's for sure.
Well, to be honest, Matt, and the funny thing about it is I learned something new because I don't remember the part at the end where it turns out he had been lobotomized. I think by then I was so like just willing myself to not get out of my chair and finish this movie. I don't think I fell asleep. I was just like so tuned out. And it was like, no, I'm going to sit here in front of the TV until this movie because I just
got lobotomized by the movie.
Yeah, it must
Were
be.
you shopping for Funkos?
I probably did get on my phone.
Like, I'm watching the movie. Oh, wait, I've been shopping for Funkos.
That's for after dark. Anyway.
It's like I'd rather have a Brazil Funko than ever watch that movie again.
Yeah. You asked me what I didn't like about it. I just thought it was dumb. It was not enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was just, it made no sense.
It doesn't hold up. In my opinion, it doesn't hold up at all. So you guys have seen Mom and Dad Save the World?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a fun one to do at some point in time.
I don't know that I've seen big chunks of it, but I don't know if I've watched
it's good. It's a John Lovitz classic.
Like 6 or 7
of all the John Lovitz classics.
Well, it's got Kathy Ireland in it. So when it came out, we were of the age where it was like Kathy Ireland.
Yeah. And she's doing her thing. It's
she
really
was
great.
Like my number 4.
Cindy Crawford was your number 1, right? Was it Crawford?
McPherson.
Oh, Elle McPherson. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Which a guy just came and rented some stuff from me, and he's like a photographer in LA, and he's on his website, Elle McPherson. I was like, oh, he did Elle McPherson's makeup.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's only 70.
And what's her name from Thor?
Yeah.
Not that one, but the
Portman?
Siv or Sliv.
Oh.
So tell me if you guys know what
Smith. You got it.
Smith.
So tell me if you guys know what this is. I took a note. It's and I have no memory of it. It said loose talk is noose talk, and then I put ha 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 ha.
It was kind of like the loose lips sink ship.
Oh,
it's a propaganda about like not telling secrets, and it was right out. It was he's going to the house to find Buttle, and these kids have this little kid like pressed up against the wall with like a hood over him, and they're like getting ready to beat him up, and it says loose whatever
loose talk, news talk.
Yeah
There's definitely a lot of like the promise again, the 50s, definitely 50s ads all over the place of like, look how amazing this world is, and then the reality is just garbage. Everything is like decayed and fallen apart, and there's crime and fascism.
So we did our cringe moment. Did Nick and Eric, did you guys have cringe moments?
I don't know if I had a cringe. I'm trying to think.
I think there's a point where the joke got dumb, where the real plumbers came back and basically eminent domained his house because he didn't fill out a form. Or no, he gave him a bunch of crap about a form. Then they got the form, came in and tore apart his apartment. And then De Niro shows up and switches the air line with the sewer line, and then fills up their suits with crap. And it's not like, ha ha ha. No, they showed like
get filled up,
coming all the way up, and then like pressing their face against the plastic. It's like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
It fills all the way up, and you can see their tips of their noses pushing up against.
Yeah.
It's a full body plastic suits.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, come on.
And then it goes back to him watching with a little periscope outside so he can see what De Niro's done, and then it's just diarrhea splatters on the.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little gross.
It's like they were blown up, like they died.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably the cringy moment for me.
That would be, I guess, if I had a cringe for today, would be the underwritten, the love interest, Jill, whatever her name is, and how she's absolutely just this like placeholder. Because there's the dream idea that he has of her, just this woman that doesn't really exist. She's only a dream, long blonde hair. She's like in a cage floating through the air.
Yeah.
The Shogun, this big samurai, has her hostage, and he's being pulled like Santa's sleigh by all these little dark crystal looking creatures that have
baby
like
masks.
Japanese baby masks on, very much Japanese random aesthetic. So yeah, when he was on drugs, he watched some Shogun movie and went, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw that in."
Yep.
So there's that version of her, which is no character at all. And then in the real world, she's very like tough, and she drives a cab, which is this like Mack truck, over the top, strong, crazy looking thing. But she's very like, yeah, and she's like very tough. But again, there's zero character development with her,
right.
And you go, oh yeah, there's no way she's ever gonna fall for him. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, oh okay, she's into him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like she just decided he's not going away. So
it was a little bit Ready Player One. You're like,
the plot needs this.
Let's just throw it in there.
Just make it happen. It's his dream, make it happen.
Yeah, right.
But at least the one thing else, well, I don't know. He tried to converge the two things a little bit. I was thinking, there's the moment where, so in the dream, from like the get-go, she's in this cage thing floating in the sky, and then later on towards the end, when he's found her and he won't leave her alone, and she's going to drive something back to the city, and there's this like little house that looks like a
shipping container.
A shipping container, yeah, thank you. And it's getting lowered down, and I was like, okay, that's gonna be a thing, and they kind of use it, but again, it's like it almost merges the two worlds together.
Right.
It doesn't quite. It's like, oh, Terry Gilliam, there you go. These threads that almost come together, but no, they don't.
Almost, and then not quite.
Yeah, like he's, and I wonder if he just puts it out there and just teases people, and he's like, oh, I wrote down how to connect it. Let me erase that. Screw all of you.
Right.
This will be much more artistic if I don't.
He has this he introduces this concept of like these two forms of plastic surgery, one which is like with knife and one with this chemical, which I guess in the 80s was plastic surgery is a big like taboo because they have these two competing doctors the whole time.
Risky.
And one lady, that's where the classic like screenshot is from, where their face is all stretched out, and because he's stretching, he's gonna pull it back, and then like her other high society friend is getting just like pure chemicals and is just degrading to like that weird funeral dream sequence thing where they open the casket and just like jello body flan falls out.
Jello and bones just splatter out.
So
there's complications from the complications, and she just has more bandages on, and there's like bile coming through them every time.
And that's when to me it became like, okay, these are a bunch of like Monty Python skits, that they just stitched together with this love story, and they can kind of make them work, but like, not.
I feel like you need to go watch The Meaning of Life first, and then watch this, and you'll be like, "Oh man, this is a very coherent, structured movie."
Right, but he's not innocent because, like you mentioned, like even like The Adventures of Baron von Munchausen is bonkers, but
and a remake.
Yeah, and it's mildly cohesive. It's not too bad. But I watched The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus way back.
I forgot about that one.
And that was the reason that one kind of like flashes out in the world is because that was the last movie that Heath Ledger ever made. And it just happened to work into the story that the character that he plays could be somebody else. So it was like Jude Law and Johnny Depp. I think Tom Waits was in it. So like it just worked that way. It's also funny because Andrew Garfield is in that movie, so like very pre-Superman Andrew Garfield. But it's again,
Spider-Man.
it's what did I say?
Oh, Superman.
Superman.
I would love to see that. I want to see Superman with
he could
Andrew
be
Garfield.
Superman someday.
I fly. He can jump over buildings, stop bullets. I mean, that's Superman, right? You have animal blindness. I have superhero blindness.
You have superpower blindness.
Yeah. So even that one was just kind of like this wild bonkers idea that they just kind of sewed together. And I think he did Time Bandits too, right?
Yeah.
Or like Ice Pirates or something like that. Probably both. But even that's like that weird 80s fantasy genre where they take a good story and they're like, this is a little too calm. Let's throw in time traveling dwarves. You're like, all right, why not? Yeah,
but it was very much in that moment where it was just getting good enough for film. So, Muppets had been a thing. So special effects were getting good enough that they felt like it was something that they could work into movies. So hence why all this stuff sort of started to happen. I think Superman did it in the 70s with You'll Believe a Man Can Fly. Like up until that point in time, there had not really been any really believable flying person in movies, which is crazy to think. So it was sort of that was the whole thing. It was all this imagination. They were just like, well, we can do anything we want. Probably shouldn't, but they did.
I love we talked about the TVs, but I love the impractical innovation. So, and what I mean by that is anytime you watch a movie that's about the future, everything's always like super round, like jumpsuits with one color. It's like what the future always is. But in this movie, they had like basically iPhone screens and these giant convex magnifying glasses. And that was like your computer. Right. It's probably a practical
really solution.
Really
old typewriters.
Yeah, and then like typewriters. Yeah. So that part was interesting too. That it was like, all right, this movie's not taking it so seriously because they're throwing in like reverse innovation. Or when he gets promoted into like, is it finance? I don't remember.
Information retrieval.
Information retrieval. Thank you. And he gets his office, and it's a wall and a desk. But what you don't know is they took two offices and just put a wall in the center, and the desk slides back and forth.
Yeah,
right.
The slow reveal of that's great because they're like, you even get your own door with a room inside. It's like, oh, he's gonna have an office because before he's working at in this like giant place. Yeah, the bullpen. And so he gets in, and you see in the back there's half a poster, and you're like, oh, they put a wall right in the middle of one office and made it two rooms. And then all of a sudden he's got these looks like dictionaries or some of these giant things, probably with regulation books and codes or whatever. And then they keep flopping over, and he puts them up, and they flop over. Yeah, and then pretty soon he realizes, oh, the table's moving, and the guy next door is trying to get more table.
Yeah, you cut this thing. You take this and then put it in an editing bay. And you just put a fixed cut every 5 minutes, and these are a bunch of great skits.
Yeah,
right.
That's why it shows short form sketch comedy is so good. Yeah. But then you string it together.
You don't have to make it work in 2 hours.
It's why the Between Two Ferns movie was not good, because you don't want to turn a story into a 4-minute or less sketch, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would definitely, from my end of it, I can't recommend people to see it.
No.
Like, I think this in the My Nico scale, I think this is a 2 out of 5. Meaning, I enjoyed it, but I definitely can't recommend. I can't say like, you know what, go see this movie. I mean, I like it, but
I think it depends who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's right. That's always the caveat. But like, literally,
if it's a family film, never.
Right.
Don't ever
recommend it to your parents. Yeah.
I bump into a group of friends that I've known, or like a bunch of random people or family ask me like, hey, should I see Brazil? Be like, yeah, probably not.
Nah.
It's not, sure. I mean, it's all right, but not for you.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Your douchebag friend that wears bolos, go, yeah, watch it.
That guy. Yeah. Definitely
that
guy.
Just wacky like his first name. Watch
it. When you talk about it, he goes, I don't know, I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Recommend it to the guy who likes Popeye.
I did enjoy Popeye.
Classic Robin Williams.
I saw a clip from that the other day and was like, oh, yeah, I need to hunt this down again because it's good.
It's a weird mess. I kind of like it.
Well, any parting thoughts on Brazil before we move into the after dark portion of the evening?
The butthole thing. I forgot about that. The dog having the X tape on its butthole. The woman's walking her dog, and I love that little touch of this world with rules for everything. You can't just do a thing. Of course, you must do paperwork. So, like the thought that even the dog, there probably has to be paperwork filled out for it to poop. Therefore, we got to seal up its butthole until we do the proper paperwork.
Right.
Yeah. Well, even then, the flawed joke of they use the metric system or whatever when the guy comes in, cuts a hole in their ceiling, drops down.
Like the
and then,
same
like,
hole
guys,
every time.
yeah, and the guys that come in that literally have like whole repair crew, and they come in with this like plug, and it just falls straight through, and it says like, "Oh, are they using metric again?"
We don't make mistakes.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Skits.
But that there's that there's people that have to make the replacement floor that has been drilled into. It's like pretty great in this, in actuality, very dark world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the Gestapo is coming through and just nixing people left and right because of, I don't know, parking tickets. Who knows the reason? Yeah.
That's why a movie like this gets confusing, though, is because the wife of Buttle, who got killed, the scene where Jonathan Pryce goes to pay her for them making the mistake, it's just so serious, and like because she's so good of an actress and so into it and so sad that you just kind of like you wonder what this movie is when you've got those moments. Tone wise, like,
what am I supposed to think of this? Yeah, the tone is not.
Yeah,
that's probably the best way to say what. Yeah, the failing of this movie.
Yeah, what were you going to say, Eric? I interrupted you, I think.
I forget. What the hell were we saying right before that?
Talking about holes and X's over.
When are we not?
Dog butts. Yeah.
Canine beehole.
That's a good point. Well, I think that overall it's a do not recommend, but I think it's recommend to those who you believe would enjoy it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right. It's a directed recommendation. If people say like, "Oh, I like this, and this," you'd be like, "You know what? You could probably sneak this one in there too, and you'd appreciate it." But
don't recommend
like, my favorite movies are Sweet Home Alabama, Forrest Gump, and Gone with the Wind. Like, steer clear. Steer clear. You're good here.
Yeah.
You have a lot of Southern friends. You have a tight theme there.
Yeah.
Did I?
A little bit. Gone with the Wind.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Well, there is a reason for
Forrest
that,
Gump,
but it was somebody I was talking to.
Rise again.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody right before we got started that we were going on a kick about something, and so it's buried in there.
Yeah, there we go.
Anyway,
but boy, I don't know, that the beginning of him flying as the angel around. I thought that looked amazing. I'm like, how'd they do this in 1985?
True.
Because the clouds look like miniature, but then he's flying around, and I'm like, I don't see. That was impressive as hell.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what the hell the title even refers to, or if it's just a random title they gave it? Like,
it's named after the song. The theme song that they used is a song called something something Brazil that was written in like the 30s and has been in a billion movies, and it's been re-recorded as a cover just so many times. It's like this wildly popular song for no reason. And so they decided to just name... Catchy. Yeah, it's catchy. But they decided to name the movie Brazil. That was it.
It's catchy.
Yeah, sure.
Do you not even like the song? I mean, it's...
No, it was good, yeah. It's a movie that's like... It's in that pantheon of movies that, as a filmmaker, I'm glad I've seen, but nothing that I'm going to necessarily draw any sort of inspiration from, because it's just not something that resonates with me at all.
I'm going to see those Gestapo guys show up in your work soon.
Yeah. It's kooky though.
You're going to go,
you didn't like Brazil.
Yeah, it's kooky to see though where stuff does pop up though a little bit.
Yeah,
in unexpected places.
I think the only way I would ever knowingly take any inspiration from it is if I'm pointedly making fun of it in something.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and it's an interesting cast, like with Jonathan Pryce and Ian Holm, and amongst other, De Niro.
Oh yeah,
course.
just bang.
Yeah, it's a really interesting cast of people. I think that Gilliam was at his peak at that point in time, and everybody was clearly on some sort of drug. So they were just like, yeah, let's do a movie with Terry Gilliam. I don't care what it is or what I do.
Because they knew it was going to be different. Yeah, I think they're just like, I want that experience. I've had all these other experiences. I want that one.
After you've done all the Coppola and all of the Spielberg and all the things, you're just like, yeah, let's do that. I mean, I love Jonathan Pryce. I think he's one of the best actors, probably like still living. He's phenomenal. And he's always played like little weird roles. Like in Glengarry Glen Ross, he plays this great character. And just super random stuff that he shows up in. So he's great. But yeah, very weird film. Doesn't hold up for me anyways.
That's fair.
I remember the
Not at
thing
all.
I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
It was when he's about to be tortured, and the one guy that straps him in, and he's like struggling. The guy's like, "No, don't resist. Just tell the truth. If you resist too long, it'll affect your credit score."
Right.
See, when you pull the moments out, we all laugh. We're like, oh yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. But sitting through it can be a little bit rough.
Yeah.
Python movies are in general. We're kind of like,
Yeah.
Life of Brian. I'll give that one a nice.
Well, I think that
fairly
they're better
cohesive.
suited to sort of satire and parody of past events. That's where like this one kind of went off the rails for me. It was a future dystopian world that they created completely themselves, but when they're making fun of medieval times with Holy Grail or Life of Brian or something like that, that's funnier to me.
Well, then it's not an
Yeah,
inside joke because everyone's aware of knights and castles and Camelot, and this one felt like an inside joke. They're like, I don't know this.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's a good point. It does seem a bit like a bunch of SNL people did something they thought was funny, and it's kind of an inside joke. You're like, it's not. I don't get it. It's not funny.
Yeah.
To me, yeah, that's a good point.
It was about you.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but it's about you.
Man.
Well, Life of Brian. Well, Brazil, 2 out of 5.
Always
The rating
walk
system.
on the
Yeah.
light side of life, whatever the hell that song is.
Watch.
It's a kooky watch, but
Watch at your own risk.
that's fair.
Watch if you like Terry Gilliam.
Just watch something else.
Right.
There you have it,
Watch
folks.
Smurfs 2.
Smurfs 2.
I can't recommend Smurfs 2 enough.
Enough. I say it so many times. I can't say it enough.
I get Gargamel for life. Hashtag
Gargamel?
that Gargamel life.
All right, folks, thank you for listening to this version of the Smoking Hot Nerds podcast. We are about to go into our Nerds After Dark, the talk show where everything goes. That's not our tagline yet. So please join us for that. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, or any of the other podcast platforms, you can find Nerds After Dark on the exact same list. It'll just be the next podcast. But thank you for listening. And those of you listening to us live, off we go. Let me change the set because the set changes for Nerds After Dark.
Oh, Justin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
From Slimer to what?
Yeah.
Actual slime. Just
Oh yeah. I need to work on my
you
set game.
find Zima Blue.
You have a little knob? I figured you would just have this phone.
Yeah, it might be. He might have it tucked in back there.
He tucked his knob in back there.
Let's not give Matt
Like
too much
Wild
credit
Bill.
with tech. All right. We saw how this mic setup went.
Yeah.
Now he's got it set on seizure mode.
Yeah.
What the?
Oh, yeah.
For the listening audience, sponsored by Zima and the premium malt beverage.
Sometime soon I'll be able to start contributing to this this concept.
Is it backward? Is it actually reversed?
No,
No,
it's
it
good.
does it. It reverses
It's good for
it
me.
you.
I don't know what
In
it
your
looks
own?
like on the other
Yeah,
platform.
no. Skype does that. It gives you the mirror reflection because you never see yourself how other people see you because even mirrors are backwards.
So in the
I can read
in the
it.
live stream,
I
is
just
it
read it
correct?
off.
I can read it.
Oh, you just
Okay.
blew my mind.
I know, me too.
Even mirrors are backwards. What?
Oh no! In the live stream, it's backwards because you're streaming your live stream, so it is.
Oh,
backwards.
I'm gonna have to write it differently. That's hilarious.
Me.
Oh, that's
Perfect.
funny.
But honestly, it kind of fits in
Yeah,
with
it kind
how.
of fits
I
with
think
what
that's
we're
even
doing.
better.
Well, it is our so welcome to Nerds After Dark, the chat show where anything goes. Tonight's episode of Nerds After Dark is sponsored by Zima. Are
Not
you
sponsored.
fed up with all the imitation hard seltzers on the market today? Never satisfied with the pop of a can and yearn for that sweet zzz when the when the bottle cap twists off?
You need some Zima
I
down
know,
your throat,
right?
bro.
It's true. Well, yearn no more because Zima is here to fill that malt liquor-sized hole in your heart. Or, more likely, burn a sizable malt liquor hole in your heart. Zima, your life expectancy will thank you. That was sent to me from Zima. I don't know. Their marketing department
That's good. Yeah.
getting better. Although the signs need to be not backwards, so I'm not sure if they've got like a 4-year-old.
Did they mail you the signs backwards again? Dang it. Yeah.
Well,
I think hashtag Azim would really help that.
Amise.
I don't know if they're listening, but hashtag Azim is like his kids like it's like, oh, it makes it an inside joke.
That's actually a great marketing idea. Hashtag Azim. And then it'd be like a question mark. Who is Azim?
Who is this Azim guy?
Because it's not even Zima backwards.
Amise. You're right. Amise. Yeah. That's a good point.
That's why it's perfect, because it's like a double guerrilla marketing.
Their marketing department's having a hard time.
Who came up with that? The dyslexic guy that was high.
Pretty sure Azim did.
Skippy the intern.
There's a guy named Azim.
Azim is trying to become and we're just letting him become hot shit.
Standing around the water cooler.
So,
how about that Azim?
I gotta show you guys.
Guys hear about this Azim guy?
You can see it, right?
Yeah, what you got there?
RoboCop?
Yeah, you've been trying to point at the whole time.
Oh,
That's
I
like
know.
Mandalorian.
Bring him over.
Oh my goodness, he's huge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Look at that thing.
And he's a bobble. So now they're making
magical.
bobbles?
This is
Yeah, they got bobbles now.
This is it, right? This is a Funko. This is just like my Indiana Jones, which is over here. It's the 10-inch version.
Move it to the other side of the screen. There
It's
you
holding the
Put it
child.
down.
go. Oh, that's wonderful.
His widow. I wanted to show you his widow tootsies are showing.
Oh,
But it's a chrome, and it's so insanely detailed. It's probably one of the coolest things I own.
that's cool. I like
Next
it.
to your house.
Well, this house can go, whatever.
Right.
I keep trying to set it on fire. It's not working. No, it's like the chrome detail, the widow boots. Come on.
It's pretty good. Is it actual Funko?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Wow, I like it.
Nice.
Azim digs it.
Azim loves it.
It
Sponsored
showed
by
up
Z.
the other day and was like, so happy.
Yeah.
Because
How did you
the
get
new
it?
Mando
Was it like a
shows up
special
in like,
order?
it's now October, so it's
Oh.
Mandalorian month.
Wow,
It
you're
is
right.
Mando month.
Yeah. Well, I watched, I started watching Rebels again because I put together the A-Wing, the Lego, the Collector's Edition A-Wing. And I double it up. I do Star Wars and Star Wars Legos at the same time. But they started getting back more into the Mandalorian stuff because, well, it's Rebels, so she's going to show up in Mando 2. So I wanted to get back into some touch with that.
What's her butt?
Sabine and I don't
Magoogie.
I don't remember her name, but it's the female leader of the Mandalorians that gets overthrown by the Protectors and then sides with the rebels to try to take back Mandalorian because it's being run by the Empire.
Yeah,
It's played by Katie Sackhoff, which is cool. Starbuck is
No way.
Starbuck's playing a Mandalorian, man.
Really?
It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be
In the show or Rebels?
In the show.
In
Well,
Mandalorian.
well,
She's going to be the live action version.
Yeah,
of
she voiced the character in Rebels and is getting to reprise her role live in Mandalorian.
Awesome. And they're gonna have a helmet on her the whole time.
Probably.
She better take it off.
She probably kicks it off. Well, that's the thing is like
bad.
It's in the cartoons, the whole never show your face thing is like the very strict sect of Mandalorians because in the cartoon they take their helmets off.
You see all their faces.
Yeah. So it's just like the very specific sect of them that don't. Yeah.
Well, but that's kind of weird because he's not even really a Mandalorian.
No, he is.
Well, he is, but he was not born into it.
He wasn't. Yeah, right.
Oh, right. He wasn't born on Mandalore, yeah. But I think that
He was a
Again,
foundling, as they
right.
call them.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
So yeah, it's Mando month, and
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
we're gonna watch season 1 again soon. We got to balance that and like the 31 Nights of Halloween. So there's gonna be at least like 6 Hocus
On
Pocus
Freeform?
in this house. On Freeform, absolutely.
Wow.
What is that?
There's gonna be at least 6 Hocus Pocus.
It's happening. So yeah, Freeform
you gotta
was
tweet that.
was it like ABC's channel or it was
Yeah, it
used
was
to-
ABC Family.
There it was. Thank you.
Okay.
So ABC Family sold it to Freeform, and Freeform does a thing every October where they do the 31 Nights of Halloween, where every night they show a Halloween-esque family-friendly movie. So there's like Hocus Pocus, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Addams Family Values, and there's not a lot. So like, it's really the 4 repeating weeks of the 31 Nights of Halloween.
And then probably half of the Harry Potter movies because they always.
Yeah, right. They sneak them in, but you can go find the schedule online. But it's become like it's a new tradition. I'm not mad at it to watch Hocus Pocus because the acting is horrendous, but it's got some big names: Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler.
Yeah.
That other lady.
Yeah, I was screwing up.
Angelica
I wanna say
Houston.
Constance something.
No.
Well, that and Addams Family.
Yeah,
She was in that Witches movie where they turned the kid into
Witches
a mouse.
of Eastwick.
No, just Witches.
Witches. Yeah, with Angelica Houston.
Yeah.
That movie that's a hard go back. I watched that as a kid and was like, this is great. I made Andrea watch it, and she looked at me like, why? No.
Don't you love showing someone a movie, especially like a female, and they're not into it, and you go, I'm watching this movie for the first time as someone else because you're aware of what their reaction. You're going, oh, okay.
It's
like the first time I've shown any girlfriend a Wes Anderson movie. They just sit there and go,
And they went, I'm all set.
I don't
and
get it.
Never saw them again.
Yep.
Kind of like I do.
Yeah,
So
basically just all my girlfriends are Brian.
I got this Uber already.
That's when you guys went platonic.
Yeah. Like, no, just trust me. This one's the good one. You're gonna love this one.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's Steve Zissou. You can't get mad at Steve Zissou.
All right. Yeah, it was Steve Zissou the last time. That didn't go well.
Was the other one Danger 5? You
Matt.
showed an X, and it was like,
Yeah, Danger 5 did not go well either, unfortunately. Yeah.
That's it's so bad because they're sitting there thinking like, I shaved my legs. God damn it, I brushed my teeth.
You
Like
talking
I'm
about what I
wearing
did?
match-
Yeah.
No,
I- oh.
huh? No, I'm
Yeah,
talking about
you
your
just got it.
dates.
I
Yeah.
always shave my legs before I show somebody a Wes Anderson
Oh.
movie.
Like I have matching underwear on, and what are we watching? No, I'm just gonna this is preemptive Uber. Just
Danger 5.
Yeah. You go and
Well, I
schedule
would
that.
think- yeah. I don't think anyone's showing that on a first date.
No. That's why they're already reeled in.
That's second date.
yeah, that's when the
Kill
toothbrush
the
is left
potential
over.
immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when she borrows your sweatshirt, be like, Wes Anderson time.
Right. I'm gonna need that Under Armour back.
Oh, you need my smell on you? All right. Time
Get ready
to
for
make
the
you
steak.
suffer.
Here comes the steak.
Oh, that needs to be a meme of like with General Grievous. I will make you suffer. I want to throw a General Grievous, plug out there for all our Grievous heads.
Hashtag Grievous heads.
I've seen a General Grievous cosplay. It's pretty good.
There is one
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys hide inside the cape, and you're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
It's a guy in Britain. I think he doesn't have arms though, so it's kind of like his way of like having.
We might have
arms.
to share General Grievous cosplay videos to see if we're talking about the same one. Because there are so many.
Yeah, there's at least 2.
There's a plethora.
When you guys sent that meme in the text thread about the scene where Padme tells Obi-Wan that she's pregnant, I forgot. I've pretty much blacked that movie out completely. I can remember basically like halfway up to Attack of the Clones, and then it all just gets fuzzy at that point. So I didn't even remember this part of the movie, and I was like, oh god, I don't want to think about it. It's the worst.
Misa been a bad girl.
Misa been a bad girl. I hope that's the real line. I hope that I just don't remember it.
Oh, Jim Jam.
Oh, Flim Flam.
Who's up for some narcolepsy? Not the line.
I was trying to clean it up for the kids. It's a good thing that our
That's their
sponsor
niece and nephews. When you told them that line, and then
yeah. So guys,
Matt,
what do you
Matt,
think?
Can you stop telling them about Matt? Come over here. What were you talking about? Brazil.
Necrophilia. Don't worry about it.
Narcolepsy. Can't sleep.
Have you guys heard about Mung?
Oh, is that a real thing? It was.
Oh yeah.
High school. We talked. I mean, I remember.
That falls into the don't Google this category of the Smoking Hot Nerds.
Yeah, please don't. Our
Leave
one
your
viewer.
browsers free of that one.
So what have we been watching this week then? Anything interesting?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh yeah, a lot of you guys have been
You
busting
busy?
butt,
Me?
man.
Yeah.
He was doing 100+ hour weeks. Oh,
But you're done.
I'm done with that.
Well, all of your monsters look fantastic that you painted
Yeah,
and
they
created.
do.
They look amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, those are bonkers good. If you had said like I did all these, be like, oh, so how many people were on your team? Because it's like the level of detail and like sharp detail is definitely like that's like a 2-3 person job, right?
Yeah.
Well, because I tried to think back to like watching Face Off on Sci-Fi and what like the pressure that those
Right.
guys are in.
Not the Nicolas Cage movie. Okay.
Not
right.
not the Nicolas Cage.
I was like, I love that you're going to this movie, but I don't know
Yeah.
why.
No, what they had to do with like quote unquote 3 days to create movie makeup, and you knocked out was it 5 costumes
Yeah.
12.
plus 12.
Sheesh.
And they're not
Wow.
so for the listening audience. When Eric knocks out costumes, it's not like paper mache and Sharpies. These are like film ready, no effing way type costumes.
Now,
Yeah.
granted, in
No,
all
don't
honesty, 'cause I
downplay it,
can-
man. That's hard sell to
I
the
did
roof.
buy masks, and I did buy where I could where I could buy things that existed. That being said, I fabricated a ton of stuff from scratch for sure.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'm giving you full beans, man. That was impressive.
Because I had gotten so far into it, I was just like, all right, I got 3 weeks. I had 1 week off to throw 80+ hours at just that alone. But then I was like, nope, I'm gonna push. It's gonna suck, but I want to be happy when this thing's done. And I was.
You should.
So that's that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Looks
Well done,
really,
sir.
really good. It's impressive. I was
And there will be a film of this instead of a play that happened and disappeared, and that was that.
So you can actually see
it'll
them.
live on.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Did I say it? Did I tell you guys last week? I don't remember. I showed my parents some of the pictures that you sent of the monsters that you had created, and I told them I know you're good, but I'm still surprised at how good you are. Like that's amazing work, man, and especially when you put it under the lights, it's like totally film ready stuff. I mean, we were talking about like Lord of the Rings level. It was impressive, like really good.
It's not that far, but it's for theater it was definitely like they got all imaginable out of it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's awesome.
They got a lot more than they paid for sure. But I have not all the costumes, but I have almost all the costumes delivered back to me today to do with them what I want.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So I can have my way with all of them.
Speaking of narcolepsy,
Is that why you're drinking after we're done with the podcast? You're going to have a lady come over and you guys are going to dress up and
oh, you make the monsters kiss.
Little orcish cosplay.
You want to be an orc? Yeah. What was that? Which scary movie was it? It's probably like get in trouble talking about this, but was it one of the Wayans brothers? He like had his girlfriend over, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like on the football team, I think, and he's like,
right.
Hey honey, yeah, here, put these pants on. Oh yeah, now put these shoulder pads on.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And essentially, it's like he's just closeted, and he just wanted her to look like she was a football player,
Like the quarterback,
so he could get with her. Yeah,
He calls her Randy or something.
yeah. Yeah, take that, Randy.
We watched that on one of those marathons, and that movie I was like, ugh.
I've never seen it.
The scary movies?
Yeah.
They're just
none of them?
Mm-mm.
What's her name came out of them?
Anna Faris.
Yeah.
Anna
Yeah.
Faris.
She does a podcast. She should be on our podcast. Where you at, Anna
Sounds
Faris?
good.
Calling you out. What's up?
We've got
What's
a
it called?
Mies.
Bear?
Yeah.
And the movies aren't bad, but you can definitely tell when like the core staff slid into other projects and then the Wayans staff slipped in, because I think it's the second or third one that is garbage.
I think whatever one we watched, I watched with you, and I
Yeah,
was like,
it's
this is
the one where
biggest pile
they
of trash.
it's the one that's like the spoof on House on Haunted Hill, and
Yep.
it's just like weed jokes the whole time.
Right.
And it's Richard Mull in that from Night Court. All you out there that
Yes,
are
he is.
Night
He
Court
plays the
fans.
ghost. Yeah, and then Chris Elliott
Love
plays
it.
like the servant with the little
Chris
little
Elliott.
gimpy hand. Where all those
Like a
memes about
hunchback.
the gimpy
Watch
hand.
my fanny. Watch my fanny.
Oh, Brian's a
Christmas
fan.
Seen it.
Yeah. You know what I've been watching the last couple weeks, because I've just been so busy, but what Natalie's been watching, I've been watching by proxy. Have you guys heard of this shit show? Oh my God. Why? Yet you can't look away, called Below Deck Mediterranean.
No.
Someone was talking about it. Nico over there hiding. He loves
It's
that
about these people that work on a yacht, and it's just the shenanigans, and like then these super mega rich people that pay like $250,000 to like charter these yachts, and then pay like $30,000 in tips to the crew.
Mhm.
And it's just like all the crew getting, they all bone each other usually, and they get one night off every 2 weeks, and they go get hammered and throw up on the boat, and it's just like, this is so bad, yet I can't look away. Like,
That's
I've
a
been
good
working.
premise for a reality show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I despise reality television.
Mhm.
It is the downfall of TV. It should be banned.
Except for Selling
And
Sunset. But I agree with you.
No, that definitely has to go. And I've been working. I have to
Forest
Yeah,
like swivel my chair just
Forest
enough
Fire's
where
okay.
I can't see the TV like
Because it pulls you in.
peripherally. Because then I'm like, next thing I know, I've wasted 30 minutes watching this dumpster fire.
Sucked
It's
in.
such a good show.
It's a good way to inspire you, Brian. We still can't talk about what you're working on, right?
No.
Okay, so
Smurfs
but
3. Oh no!
it's got to be great inspiration for cutting those Smurfs 3 scenes, though. 'Cause it's showing you what real drama is like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that
Gotta
gets
get
me
up
and
that
that
Gargamel life.
is that we get at too is it's definitely edited to create drama, but like the most recent ones, it's interesting to watch people in positions like these guys they work for 6 weeks or something like that, and after every charter they're pocketing like $2,000, which is just tips,
That's it.
but they're getting paid on top of that. So if you think about, they do, let's see, 12 charters, so they're making $24,000 in 6 weeks. But it's true, I don't call it naval, but it's like there's hierarchy. There's like a bosun, like a first mate, and then there's deck, and then there's interior, and then there's a chief stew and a first stew and a second stew and a third stew kind of thing. And it has a hierarchy and it has a structure, but there's always the third stew, who is essentially like private dumbass, that their job is to just do the laundry and clean the bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
That's your job, man. But they're always like, I don't know why my boss always tells me what to do. I deserve more respect. No, you do not.
You're the
You
whipping
shut
boy.
up. Yeah, you
There
shut up and
certainly
do
do
your
not.
job. And then
No,
there's
clean
like,
up the toilets,
you're
idiot.
so mean to me, and it's crazy to watch, because the other part of it is you have to understand with reality TV is that they will have a charter of like 10 people, which is right. It's like $20,000 a person to accomplish this
Wow.
10 person charter type thing, but they're obviously being compensated by the network to be on the show because they're showing their face without blurring it and all that
Some
kind
way,
of
yeah.
fun stuff. It makes almost all these people look like giant piles of dog shit.
Yeah.
Like no one has gotten off of that boat in like a positive light. So it's like, why would you do that? Like they're going to cut the worst things you do, and that makes the show. I mean, they had a guy like physically assault a stew. They had people throwing up. They had people like just shouting obscenities and racist responses, and you're just like, you guys are terrible human beings in this show.
What show was I on? I was on what was that called? Operation Repo, and I played a pizza delivery guy who was delivering his pizza in a Fiat that was up for repossession. And so the repo guys, and it's a real reality show. The guys really do repo.
Yeah, let's be careful with the air quote reality.
And I call, I drive into his house to deliver a pizza, and then he's like, "Oh, I actually have to take your car." And then he like assaults me and like pushes me up against the wall, and then I like lock him out of his own house so that he can't take my keys. And it's all this stuff happening, but it was based on a real repo that he had done in his life. But obviously, we were all actors, and like the whole fight scene was all
doing the
rehearsed and everything.
Of it.
So, do you think any of that is happening in this show?
No, because like you can go charter these boats. Like these are real. It's a real not public service, but it's a real business that you could go do. It's definitely geared towards being on the show. So like they have to do certain things, and they've had seasons where non-scripted events occur. Like there's two of them. There's Below Deck and Below Deck Med. So there's two different captains, and they run in off seasons basically, so Bravo can run it almost year round.
Gotcha.
But last season on regular Below Deck, 2 seasons ago, they had a deckhand do like the universally navally bad thing is he stepped in a line of a rope that was getting pulled out to water, out to sea, and it yanked him off the boat. And like the cameraman had to drop his camera and untie it from the cleat, or it would have ripped the guy's leg off. Wow. So like that is not, let's set this up and make something happen. Like that was an actual like, oh shit, like this is about to get real bad. But the whole drama component is just it's isolation observation. Like these 6 people are being slammed into a tight little quarter, working their butts off and getting, I don't want to say no respect, but like it's just, this is your job. You're locked in for 3 days.
Peon.
Yeah, you're just hammered, and tempers are gonna flare.
Long days, I'm sure.
Yeah, these people are gonna they're going to self-ignite, and that's what the show is. So it's really interesting to see what self-ignites people, but then also watch like the certain vapid nature of people. Like you said, every third stew is like, I don't know why she's telling me what to do. And then she sets the laundry on fire. Like, well, it's because you just set my shirts on fire. That's why I have to tell you what to do, idiot. and then like this current one, I jumped on your story, bro. I'm sorry.
No.
He loves this.
The chef, they always have problems with chefs.
Yeah.
And I went to the Art Institute. They had a culinary component. So I get it, man. Like the work that chefs do is hard. And you have to think about, these chefs aren't just trying to create a 5-star meal for guests. They also have to cook for the crew. So the chefs get like 0 break. Like they get like negative break.
Right.
And there's always something where like they get a preference sheet and like there's 16 people and one person doesn't like beef. Okay. Work around it, but the chef like flips the table, like, how can I not serve beef? And they're like, no, settle
my vision has been destroyed.
Right. And it's like, listen, you're gonna be fine.
Just give them veggies. It's fine.
Somebody always complains about like the temperature of the food, or like, but it's always cut in a way that you know that these people weren't like storming down to the kitchen and like smashing the plate right in front of him. They're just like, oh hey, I really don't like beef cheeks and abalone. Like, all right, you're fine.
Who doesn't like abalone?
Yeah, right. So, but it's just a crazy show because it doesn't have. I mean, some of the drama is manufactured, absolutely, but it's a working luxury yacht. So it has.
It also produces enough natural drama.
Right. It has its own truth in the components. But yeah, I also love how, as crazy as the crew is, I love how every single guest walks off that boat just looking like garbage.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they always, like at the beginning, they do a preference sheet walkthrough. So they're like, oh, it's this guy. He's the CEO of this company. He's celebrating his birthday with his wife, who's like 30 years younger than him. And then they bring on their 6 friends. And one of the friends is always an a-hole who's like puking off the side of the boat or something. And then, yeah, one guy always looks like a total jackass. And nobody walks up the boat like, oh, those are good people. You're always like, man, those people
They must be
suck.
compensated very well for that.
They have to be, because they've even had people return. Like
how
Johnny.
many seasons in on?
Oh
are we?
God, it's like 10.
What?
It's insane.
What?
Well,
because
but what's 10 seasons? When did it
Oh, it's
start?
like The
2
Boys
weeks ago?
season 10, right? It's like they do
Yeah,
multiple.
right. They can do, because the original one was Captain Lee, thumbs up to Captain Lee, and his group. They would do a charter like down in the Caribbean or something, and then they would do a charter over in Europe because of the way that the weather works. So they would ship the yacht over and do like a 6-week thing here, and then ship the yacht and do a 6-week thing here.
Right.
They would film it that way. They could kind of run year round. And then they picked up Captain Sandy, who's also great. Interesting study on managerial styles, but she's in the Mediterranean Bay area kind of thing. There's like one season where Captain Lee went down to like Thailand or something, and yeah, it's
Thailand season.
Right.
Oh.
The logistics and the production of it is bonkers because it's really interesting. But again, like it's not the manufactured drama of like you showing up to a house with a pizza and having like, hey, I'm gonna need your keys. Well, you can't have them. And shit.
Yeah. Which
it's not
exactly how it went.
I figured. Oh, thank you.
So what's the
Thank
show called again?
Below Deck.
Below Deck. On Netflix?
Bravo.
Oh, so it's not OTT? Like you can't just hop on?
I don't know if they've got.
Maybe
I
on
think
the
Natalie
app,
watches it on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm going to watch it, but yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Whenever I have time, right? I got an interesting email just now from someone who
Zima?
wants to be a new sponsor.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they sent us some copy over, I guess. I mean, are you guys down for a new sponsor?
Yeah, roll it off.
Give it
Let's
a
see what we got.
try. Try to get through this one without getting all phlegmy. Can't decide what cable program to watch tonight? Too many commercials for you and your family to truly enjoy your Friday night entertainment? Well, Blockbuster Video is here to help. With over 10,000 titles in many of its 1,200 locations, renting the videotape of your choice has never been easier. Whether it's action, romance, or family fun, you're looking for your local Blockbuster Video is just a car ride away. Blockbuster Video. We are not going anywhere.
Nice.
All right.
Yes.
Cool.
I mean, it
Thank
fits
you,
in.
Blockbuster, for watching the show and for hopping on as a sponsor. So
So they send us
Well, what?
tape rewinders.
yeah, there's 4 of them. They said they're on their
Nice.
way. Yeah.
Oh,
So
sweet. Cool.
four rewinders on the way. So I'll be sure to ship those off to you guys.
Auto tape
Yeah.
rewinders.
Just,
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
You know,
Please
you know,
be
we-
kind.
Mhm.
Rewind.
we can double dip if we put Zima stickers on them.
Right. Definitely. We'll have them behind us. I think that their tagline is great because I think it's really, we're not going anywhere. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's going to be there. That is a company to watch for sure. So
I think they're on the stock market.
yeah,
Let's
I
get
think
a
so.
hot tip. Smoking hot tip.
Smoking hot tip. If you need to watch
Well, if
something
I've heard
tonight,
anything, the stock market's just doing wonderfully. So yeah,
it's a good time
everything's
to
great.
get in.
Get in now while they're young. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
They can only go up.
Yeah, well, it's been a busy, crazy week, but I did manage to squeeze in. I watched King of Kong, The Fistful of Quarters, that documentary this week.
Oh.
So I was kind of in a vintage
What
video
week is
games
it?
mood. Yeah, so I watched that. And
Oh yeah, because you're watching that show. What's the show?
yeah,
called
High
again on
Score.
Netflix?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. Yeah, short episodes, but really good. But it's good. It's a good one. I mean, it really definitely holds up. It's funny though because they shot. You can see the filmmakers frequently, and they're like shooting it on those like little, those Panasonic sort of camcorders. So it's probably they've been probably like 720p or something. So it doesn't like look great anymore. But as far as the story goes, it's fantastic. And every time I watch it, it's been probably 5 years since I've seen it. I just can't believe how Billy Mitchell built this sort of cult around himself to the point where everybody in his world is a complete succubus and just reveres him. And basically, he's Darth Vader. They just do his bidding at all times. It's amazing. I've never seen that in real life before. And it's real. It's
really?
Legit.
Nowhere else have you seen that kind of thing happen?
Well,
anywhere?
I mean,
in current time?
In a small microcosm societal thing. You know,
you've never been within 5 feet of that, is what you're trying to say.
Exactly. So fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff.
So you know where they have him go? Do they talk about Laconia? Because I've been up to Fun Spot. That's where they have the giant arcade. Yeah, in Laconia, New Hampshire.
What's it like?
And
what's it like?
It's okay. So the funny thing, it's like 4 floors. It's a giant place with a ton of there's pretty much every era of game. But the very top floor is the old classic like 80s arcade games. And it is so hot up there because of everything running. It's just like you're like sweating. And the fascinating thing, I mean, I won't get into any of this, but it's like all that technology is dying. And so to maintain all of these old, these old original Donkey Kongs and Pac-Man and Joust, whatever, all these different games, it's just getting more and more impossible. But yeah, I've got to. But this is the thing I was going to say. So I think there's a lot of footage of them with maybe Billy, and they're like in a hotel place. It looks like some place they're staying at. And so when we went and stayed there the first time, it was a big group of us, and it was the same exact room. It was like the same cabin place. Yeah,
it's amazing.
That's awesome.
Because we're like, someone that was very familiar with it was like, wait a minute. It's one or the other, or after the
You're
fact.
looking around, you're like, hold on.
They were like, wait a minute, that's where we stayed. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Was like the cabin?
Piece of history. Yeah, it was like individual cabins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Like down the road and across the road.
It's amazing.
Because Laconia has a giant motorcycle rally, is the other thing they're, more known for.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's good stuff. Check it out if you haven't seen it before.
Wonderful underdog story.
Yep. Yeah. Even to the point where one of Billy Mitchell's lackeys is this lawyer who also was a world record holder, I think, in Joust in the 80s when they were kids, and that's when they met. And he somehow maintained him as kind of one of his, people who do his bidding. But you see in the movie how he really likes Steve Wiebe, the underdog guy, and he's really impressed with him, and he thinks he's a cool guy. But there's this thing where he kind of has to, but he also has to kind of like hate him because Billy Mitchell hates him. But there's a scene where he's talking about how much he respects and likes Steve, and he's sitting right next to Billy Mitchell in the booth, and Billy Mitchell's literally staring daggers into him during the interview. Yeah. It's amazing.
Right.
Like I've never. It's just it's
wonderful.
It's like Below Deck, but
it's
video game
all real.
It's all
just
real.
we're just gonna do a documentary about this. Yeah. These people aren't.
Yeah.
I feel like Matt on the next episode, you're gonna be like, I'm so tired because I have not slept because I binged all of Below Deck.
All 10 seasons of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might happen, honestly.
Yeah. There's 10 seasons of it, but it's only been on the air for 18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna check it out.
The advertising for it's great because it's like it's like people in uniform, but then at waist level it's water. So then from water down, they're in like bikinis and swim trunks.
Nice.
It's a good little Photoshop mashup. Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like there's that, and then it's always like, what the deck happened?
What the deck?
Yeah, lots of really bad puns.
Yeah, it's real bad.
So I don't watch like network or cable TV. I've never even seen it before or heard of it. I'm intrigued.
Oh, look at my microphone.
I mean, I would say that we're probably not their demographic.
No,
probably a fair
fair
shot in the dark there. You might see it as you like if you're going to the gym and somebody left the TV on the treadmill,
right,
or the elliptical, I should say, like I'll get very specific to the elliptical,
right.
You might catch it there. But
Okay, I'm going to the gym
we're not
tomorrow,
the
so-
demographic, but I think it's I think it's because if I had the money to make that happen, I can't see myself acting the way that those people do ever, and that's what blows my mind.
The people that rent the yachts.
Yeah.
So what are they doing? They're just partying.
Yeah, like they usually get it for like 2 nights, 3 days. But they'll make requests which aren't outlandish, but it's usually like, hey, we want to have like a
Orgy.
tasting. Well, there's that happens. Like they had this guy come on who was some lawyer from New Jersey or something like that, and he brought on his, how do I put this nicely? She might have had postage stamps on her when she showed up. Might have been a little mail order. He had his significant other with him who was by no rights attracted to him, but was very physically interested in herself. So they went out to like a beach party, and then like they sneak away, and he's this big fat dude, and she's this probably 80-pound like ex-Russian ballerina, and she just wants to take a bunch of nude photos on the beach and stuff. But it's not like tasty nude photos. It's like the ones that you look at and you're like, probably a little smelly. But
What? Went from tasty to smelly.
Yeah, this is for the listeners. But yeah,
I mean, something can be both of those things. But
they've got these crazy people that
usually
again,
they do go together.
Ludafisk.
You know you're on TV, and you know you
More
have
smell,
friends.
more taste.
So your friends are going to see you on this show because you're definitely telling people you know that you're on this show, and then that's how you act. And you're like, well, whatever, man. I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of like all the home decoration. Wait, what?
I got an idea. It's a reality show that goes and films people when their reality show appearances are shown, and they're throwing the party.
The reaction ones. Oh yeah.
And it's their reaction show. Ooh. And it's it covers every reality show there is, and they get to see how they were portrayed.
But they've got like their parents there.
Yep. Oh boy. Yep.
And like their boss, they invite their boss, like some coworkers.
They're so dumb, they just have no idea what's in store. Well, everyone else is made to look like a piece of crap, but I got a feeling I'm going to come off looking pretty great. Mom, grandma.
I didn't say anything bad, I promise.
Yeah. No, it's just they and again, it's all about the editing. They always cut. They're not going to cut in all the complimentary stuff. I mean, they do that from time to time, but somebody's always bitching about something or has. My favorite is some of the stuff they'll do is they'll have like a girls' weekend, but they really needed a certain number of people so that they all could cut down the cost per person. Is what it feels like. It's like when you have 6 people, but you invite 10 because you can't afford it. So there's always like one group of friends that's like, that girl's a bitch. And like, and they get into like cat fights and like, I don't really like her. Why did we even invite her? It's like that kind of catty nonsense. It's just, that stuff's annoying. But then when, they're like,
it never
Johnny
happens
Damon
in the real world.
Yeah. They had Johnny Damon, the ex-Red Sox, ex-Yankee.
He acted like a douche.
Oh nice.
Yeah. The first season he wasn't bad, but the second season he was just like, screw it. And he got plastered and was insulting like the chef to his, like not to his face, but Captain came up and was like, how's the food? And he was like, this is cold garbage. Like, oh God. Wow. And then like a second later,
pretend that he has his long hair, but a big bald spot on top. Does he?
He's got like the man knot in the back. Yeah.
Of course he does.
Which is probably covering a bald spot.
I'm looking at the picture. So you've been watching the Mediterranean version?
I watch them all.
Yeah. I watch them all.
I even watched the sailing one, which is bonkers.
Wow. I even watch Sargasso Sea.
Amazing.
It was a Shakespeare.
I might have to check it out.
It's an interesting watch, but yeah, Brian's right. You can be like, I'm performing heart surgery.
Yeah.
and get sucked right in.
Not gonna do it. That's why I don't have anything. I don't have any like TV that I can actually see from my desk
smart.
here.
That's smart.
Yeah, so there's none of that happening. I've got my second monitor, which sometimes I'll have like YouTube stuff, rolling in the background, or some nice soft lo-fi music or something like that. But
Lo-fi.
yeah, definitely no movie rolling. I'll dedicate myself to watch it. Ugh. And sometimes you waste your time, like Brazil.
I don't know. I'd say if you put reality TV in Brazil together,
that's true. I do love Selling Sunset,
I would put
though.
Brazil up a little more. Okay, well,
Yeah.
You'll put
one.
Brazil below. That's fine.
We watched.
Yeah.
Are you caught up on Lovecraft?
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'm just gonna wait till it's done and then watch it.
It got it.
I'll wait till it's done and then forget about it.
Yeah, I think we
Never
talked
watch
about
it.
how it at the end of the second episode, it felt like somebody took the finale and like accidentally renamed it to episode 2.
Yeah.
But it did dip, but now it's skyrocketing back up.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really good and
Yeah.
But it's again, you just gotta. It's a little bit of like True Detective, Stranger Things, and Twilight Zone, just kind of snapped on.
I'm worried Jordan Peele's just like stuck himself in this kind of world forever.
Oh, definitely.
I hope he goes back to wackiness at some point.
Yeah, I was thinking about this on my run. Was like, because he, I mean, Key and Peele, amazing show, hands down, amazing show. And then he does Get Out, which is awesome, like groundbreaking as type new horror type, new thriller type thing.
And I'll totally watch it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Someday.
And then he did
Someday.
Keanu, which you're like, all right, that's back into like the kind of wackiness.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of wacky, right?
And then he did Us, and you're like, that's smart. Oh man, that is smart. And then he did like some Twilight Zone stuff for a bit, and now he's executive producing Lovecraft, but he's also got the movie Antebellum.
I watched it.
Yeah, is it? Uh-oh.
I want to see it. It's got a mother vibe in the trailer.
Is he just kind of rolling on the tropes of here's an idea and then I'm gonna totally twist it into some mild horror type thing and then twist it again to make you think about how much of a crappy person you are?
Well, he didn't direct it.
Right.
Didn't direct, I don't want to say too much if you guys are gonna watch it, but it's
I'm probably gonna watch it, but
yeah, Matt, you're right to get the mother feels from it.
Mm-hmm.
It has there's a gigantic something happens that I didn't see coming. I'm like, what?
okay.
But it all I'll say is my problem was they focused on certain things that they should have, but that made them forget to do other things that makes it a movie. I guess you could say. The way it's gorgeous. It's so beautifully shot. They made some interesting choices. You could tell they really thought really hard about what every shot was gonna make people feel. And it's like they thought about, okay, well, if we're wide here, is it going to make as much impact as if we're in a tight shot, and vice versa. You can tell they thought real hard about that, which I can appreciate. I can't remember the actress's name. She was good.
Janelle
Monáe.
Yeah, she was really good. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what you guys think.
I'll have to watch it.
Well, I got to find it where it's not $20.
Yeah, I think I just paid for it because I was like, screw it, let's just do it.
Yeah,
I'll probably pull the trigger on it for 20.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll discuss after.
Excuse me. Yeah,
So
check it out.
So the question of, it's not like, let's pretend it was like, hey, I just heard about this new movie Brazil. You'd be like, don't pay for it. Do you feel better having seen Antebellum that you're like, okay, I have a new. You already gave credit to like the shot choice selection, and so is it worth going after from an appreciation standpoint?
Yeah. Okay. You asked about the horror tropes. Like it's horrifying, but not for the things I think the trailers make you think is.
Mm-hmm.
He does that a lot. His trailers and his movies.
Yeah, they're always kind of like that.
Always two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I'll say this and I'll quit talking about it, but he produced it, and I feel like, he has some things he does that he's very, very good at. Like, so I love the movie Get Out. I loved Us. He has a style that's, I would say it's unique, and he has a thing he does very well. And I feel like the people that directed that movie were trying to do that and trying to impress him, but are not as talented as he is.
Who directed it?
It was two people that directed it, and what was kind of a red flag to me is, like, I read about it, and the article called them activist filmmakers. I saw that and I go, oh crap.
Mm-hmm.
So very message forward.
Yeah, which you watch it and you're gonna go, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, listening audience of 2 people, I'm not saying
4.
activism is, I can have 4, got it. Well, I'm 1, I know, because I have it on my phone. Activism is not a bad thing.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, many times the message overwhelms the message because you're forcing the message down people's throats as opposed to letting the message speak for itself. Yeah.
On it and go, ugh.
Forrest Gump was a good
much.
example of that. No, it wasn't. I just threw it out there.
What are you talking about?
But sometimes you can just press it too hard. That's all. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna watch it, and some of the things that happen, you're gonna go, based on what's currently going on in the world and who is in the White House and who's trying to get into the White House, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want to see what you guys think.
I've watched it.
I tend to watch. I just need to find time.
I have this really bad habit lately of, I've got Hulu, Netflix, HBO Go, Apple TV, and then I will still buy something on iTunes to watch instead of just watch something that exists.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's
that's
very
reality.
Annoying. Yeah.
You got 50 things that you're paying for, and then go, oh, and now I'll buy
it's not available.
30% of what I'm.
And in a way, it's almost like it's because there's so much content, and while there's so much great content, hey, it's a moth. Get out of here. And
that looked enormous in the camera.
It's normal size moth. Get out of here.
Mothra.
There's so much good stuff out there, but also there's so much stuff that everything feels like a crapshoot. So you almost feel better about investing like a little bit of money into something that's brand new. Then you don't feel like you're, wasting your time or whatever. There's a lot of new docs out, but all of them, it's all getting a bit. A new 6-part documentary, How We Killed Your Family. And it's like, I don't really know if I'm ready to dive into another family slaying murder mystery,
I am. What's it called? What's it on?
Yeah, what exactly?
Netflix, How I Killed Your Family. Yeah.
Family Slayers with a Z.
Family Slayers Below Deck, Mediterranean.
You know what I think is with docs right now, which, I've always loved documentaries. I'm a total doc nerd, but I feel like in the last couple of years, and I think part of it has to do with kind of how much of a thing true crime has turned into, people are really getting into documentaries, and it's almost kind of like the new fad in a way, which in one hand, it's amazing because it's allowing for a lot of really well-made and high production value documentaries to get made.
Money's pouring into it,
Yeah, because which is a good thing, and HBO's like, we've been doing it for 15 years. And Netflix is getting up there with their quality stuff, but it's like it's kind of a fad all of a sudden, I feel like.
Well, and they all can knock it off with the True Detective intro. Like, we're good on the double exposure and the slow roll and the intro that's like 9 minutes long. Like, we're good on that because I love that they're doing it, but they've all become the same. Like, the Making a Murderer intro was sort of like the last great, and then every other one is just trying to be that, and it's starting to get a little like, all right, we get it, There was one that I watched recently that didn't do anything Well, I guess Perry Mason had no intro at all, which I really liked. That they just did the cold open and then they went right to scene one and just had the pop up of his name. But there was a doc series that I watched that didn't really have an intro at all either.
Oh, really I know what it's called.
Huh?
Pimp My Murder.
Yeah, no, that was Pimp My Murder Mediterranean, I think. Speaking of pimping my murder, we got another from our sponsor, Zima.
Yay.
I mean, please.
Have you ever felt like your life was too good? Maybe
Yes.
your relationship is nearly perfect and your kids incredibly well behaved. If that's the case, then it's a good time for a Zima. Zima's low-quality grain alcohol is the depressant you're looking for. At just $5.99 a six-pack at participating corner stores, and probably cheaper if you ask your local retailer if they've got anything special in the back. Zima, your home life will thank you. There we go.
It's good. It's a good
Thank
message.
you, Zima, for sponsoring our show tonight.
Hey, the writers are getting better.
They're getting better, yeah. No, I think it's. I feel like they've upgraded from their 8-year-old to like their 12-year-old. So,
Yeah.
which is
Well,
good.
you know, they tug at the heartstrings a little.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like,
Do
I
they
wanna
have
go with
any
family.
hashtags they're using?
Not just hashtag Azim,
Azim. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Hashtag Azim. Nice.
which is Zima spelled backwards.
Kind of.
Yeah.
They sent
Not
some over
really,
with,
but
with
we're
pound
going for it.
sign earlier. We had to throw them out.
# Azim.
I'd pound Azim. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do. That
I
sparkly
don't
malt
really,
beverage.
but
I actually did drink Zima earlier. Womp womp.
Really? When you were younger?
Yeah. In
Yeah,
college.
earlier, as in 20 years
Yeah.
ago.
I think
Yeah,
earlier
true.
as in earlier today.
20 years ago. Zima showed up at a party or two.
Nice.
yeah, I've had.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Sounds
I
delicious.
don't think I ever.
You got to remember, this is the guy who went to college, came back to college, and people are like, we're having a party. Like, yeah, I do that now. And I showed up with a bottle of, what's it called? Crap. What's the orange liqueur?
Triple
Yeah.
sec?
Triple sec. I drank a bottle of triple sec.
Oh my god.
That's not something you drink a drink of.
Didn't know. This
Oh
guy.
my goodness. I know
That's,
that
that's
there's
a story
very,
that
very-
Andrea loves because of the whole like. So for our listening audience, that we were like, the nerdy kids in
the
high
good
school.
kids. Let's
We were the
put it
good
that way.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to remember that one of these nerdy kids was pretty mouthy, and so in our senior year when we had the senior party, we were like, we are not going to that drinking party. We are underage, and that is just asking for trouble.
No alcohol.
And
party.
then
Well, and also, it was in the parking lot of the high school.
in the parking lot of the high school.
Not a
so
great idea.
Not a shocker. We show up the next day and sprinkler heads are busted off, windows are smashed, cops are giving people breathalyzers, and then the school does what every normal high school in the 90s would do: is they threaten not to let any of us graduate. And my stupid ass stands up and says, I represent the non-alcoholic party. We're going to graduate.
I did too, I think. I was pissy. Yeah.
Well, let's not forget that I was wearing a "What Would Jesus Do" shirt
yes.
to the meeting.
And you got called out.
I did
somebody.
because I didn't.
Well, yeah,
want
because we
I
went
didn't
to
want to help.
go pick somebody up. We went to
Yeah.
go pick somebody up, and they're like, "You were at the party." You're like, "Yeah." Somebody called and said, "Pick me up. I'm drunk."
Yeah.
Well, no, it was you guys got to go clean up.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, you guys got to clean up. We're like, we didn't make the mess. Screw you. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they're like, "But your shirt says," and I was like, "That's a good point. Still not cleaning up."
Mhm.
So,
He would this is
I-
a teachable
I-
moment from Jesus.
yeah. Yeah.
Striving to be Jesus-like, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah. It's just what do you do?
Go
It's
smell
just a
my fart.
question. That's all.
Yeah, it's not a call to action. It's
Yeah.
like Jeopardy.
Just throwing it out there. What would Jesus do? Huh. Let me ponder this for a while.
So now,
Hey,
would Jesus
Go
drink an
home.
entire bottle of triple sec?
to
Listen,
experience it? Maybe.
Didn't know what I
Just
was
to relate
doing.
to people.
When you're
That's a lot of sugar, dude, and a
Yeah.
lot of grain alcohol.
did not turn out great.
Yeah, didn't work out well for you.
No.
Not gonna do that again.
There's a
What
very
happened below decks the next morning?
he was spewing the Mediterranean.
Yeah, it was just like
A sea
orange
of
scented
sarcasm.
urine for 2 days
Yeah.
straight.
Well, one of our dear friends, we'll let him call into the show if he wants to reveal himself, but very famously had a whole bottle of apple pucker one night in college. Yeah, so kind of I think equal below deck situation probably, but just apple and green flavor, apple flavored.
Why do they call it apple pucker? Because there will be puckering.
It's gonna be all puckered up,
but not where you expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Brian,
times.
did you have any hashtag major fails in that department?
Well, I played beer pong once with a bottle of Wild Vines Merlot wine.
What?
Oof.
I went through this. It wasn't a very long phase, but it was probably a good 2 weeks where like I was like, man, I'm sick of beer. Like I'm kind of liking this wine, so I would show up to parties with this wine, and then we'd always
drink it like beer.
Yeah, well, like we played beer pong because that's just what we did. So I was like, but it was like, yo, you got to bring your own beer if you're gonna play beer pong. I was like, well, I didn't have beer. All right, I'm gonna play with my Wild Vines.
What would Jesus do, bro?
That's amazing.
Wine it
You
up.
turn that water into wine and then throw a double.
Keystone Light.
And we had this thing that everyone was kind of obsessed with for a while. It was do you guys ever see Burnett's vodka?
Oh yeah, the big plastic jug.
Yeah, that was a thing for a while.
Like Gordon's Dark Eyes.
It was like people would get mix like they would get like lemon Burnett's and mix it with Sprite, and that kind of crap. And
so amazing.
I remember I showed up one night and I made I didn't do Red Bull vodka, but I had like one of those full throttle energy drinks and I mixed that with vodka. And all these people were like, you're going to die. Your heart's going to stop. What are you doing? I'm like, well, I don't know. Let's find out.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And people were like seriously like concerned about me or something, but.
Love it.
Aw.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's sweet of your people.
Yeah.
I actually had a Red Bull one time after it was when I was living in LA and we were going to Vegas for a friend's bachelor party, but I was a bartender at the time, and so we all got off the shift at the same time. We all got in the car and drove to Vegas, and we got to Vegas at like 6 a.m. So we just kind of stayed up because we were having a good time and just like chatting or whatever. And we get to the hotel, and the hotel's like, yeah, we don't check people in until 10, which we all kind of forgot. So we were like, well, let's just stay up. We're just going to party and stay up and play blackjack. And I was like, well, I need something to get me up. So I drank a Red Bull, and with like no food at like 7 a.m, a Red Bull's a bad idea after being up for basically 24 hours. Yeah, everything was just like shaking. And so I'm out on the pool at like 10 a.m. trying to fall asleep while they're like getting our room ready. And sitting on the thing, and I just about fell asleep, and then a security guy comes by and like kicks my foot. He's like, you can't sleep out here. And I was like, but why?
I'm a
guest here, and I could sleep out here if I was in a swimming suit, but I can't sleep out here. I'm buzzing on Red Bull anyway, so it didn't work out very well. But yeah, it was pretty. That was probably my worst drinking experience. It was one Red Bull at 7 a.m.
Worst Red Bull experience.
Yeah, it's very shaky.
Oh yeah, that's a fun podcast for later. It's fun drinking mistakes.
I love the idea of Merlot beer pong though. That's funny.
Yeah, it didn't turn out well.
Did it stain the table?
In the balls.
I don't think so. I just
turn the balls red.
In the balls.
I just remember, we got killed that game, so I had to drink 3 or 4 cups of Merlot, the beer pong cups, and I was in a bad way.
Yeah, that made for a rough time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sip this. No, you're not. Hold on, I gotta check the legs.
Yeah.
Check the legs inside of the red cup.
Flip cup one time and down the beer so fast that when I came back down, just out my nose. Boom.
All of it out the nose.
You guys
awesome.
Played beer pong. Did you ever play water cup? Well, we had a disgusting cup of water that if the ball went on the floor, you had to put it in the water first, to clean it, before it went in the beer,
Your beer, yeah.
And but sometimes we played games where if you got it in the water cup, they had to drink the water.
Oof.
Yeah.
Gross.
Like
That's when you reevaluate your friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was I'm pretty sure like there's a few times people decided they were gonna play water cup and not tell me, and then hit my water cup like, oh, you gotta drink it. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, you gotta establish the rules beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. I got your water cup right here. Yeah, okay. Oh, I missed. I've done that. We did. You guys are aware of the fun internet fad of bros icing bros, where somebody hands you a Smirnoff Ice and you've been iced and you have to like get down on one knee like Captain Morgan and chug it.
Wow.
Anyway, this is like a
Sounds terrible.
late 2000s nonsense. So it's a harmless, quote unquote harmless prank that idiot friends pull each other. So one night in our kickball league, we you do the nice little thing where you walk by each other and slap hands, whatever. And their gag was to give us like they were gonna ice us all, but we lost like 21-7, and I wasn't in a good mood, and I was leading the like hand slap line, so I just took it and just started whipping bottles at people because they give it to me. They're like, haha, like throw it back at. There's just like bottles of Smirnoff Ice all over the thing. They're like, come on, have some fun with it. Like, you just kicked our ass. I'm hot, sweaty.
No,
I don't want this. Blah.
I haven't had a Smirnoff Ice since college, probably.
That's
Is that it?
the only time I've ever had one.
Do those still exist?
Yeah,
They do,
They're like they're the Zima replacement, but Zima quality product
is no replacement for Zima,
which is what started this whole train wreck conversation.
If we play our cards right, Zima could be with us for life. So let's make sure we do that.
Tattoos on Saturday.
Yeah. Azim.
Azim. No, it's Azim.
I like saying it wrong.
It's stuck.
I think I read as Amis the first time, and then my brain just kind of went, doesn't sound right.
Like it knew it was wrong, but you're still trying to like twist the joke a little.
Is there a way though to flip my picture?
I don't know.
We're gonna find out.
I think if you had a I think we were trying to do this. If you had an additional account in which that like we all fed into that account, that like two computers, that way we'd have a Foursquare and just like one little like black screen. Yeah. Then it would be right, but
someone commented on the Facebook stream, "Are you kidding me right now?"
Yeah. That's my friend Friday. That's our little inside joke.
Oh.
We worked together at the factory, and there was a guy who no longer works there he was super grumpy pants, and before every shift you have to have a pre-shift meeting, kind of brief everybody on what's going on, and then you send them out to the floor. And one of the supervisors who I used to work with every now and then, he would say, he just said, "How you guys doing? How are things going?" And like, "Did you guys do anything this weekend?" And this dude goes, "Are you kidding me right now? Are you serious? There are people out there waiting for us to relieve them, and you want to know how our weekend was? Are you kidding me?" And so now every time Friday and I see each other, we just say that to each other. Like, "Are you kidding me right now? Are you serious?" He was a real grumpy goose, that guy.
I'm guessing that probably led to his no longer having employment.
Well, no, he quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
move
was this
else.
because he was used to his shift not getting relieved a lot and going, "I bet they're up there chit-chatting about nothing while I'm waiting to get relieved"?
Kind of, yeah. He just didn't like anything even remotely close to social. So it was just always like he didn't think pre-shift was a good idea, anything like that. It was just like everything was stupid. So it was just like, I just want to show up, do my job, and leave. It's like, well, no, I feel you. Everybody wants to do that, but I got to tell you if it's a good time out there or not. Need to kind of bring you up to speed. It's kind of important. It's basically
a status report.
Yeah, exactly. So
I like too that it's like literally 3 sentences, and the guy's like, "Oh,
yeah. How you guys doing? Did you have a good weekend?"
3 rhetorical questions that no one's gonna answer.
No one's gonna answer anyway. Just let the silence like settle in for a couple minutes, and then move on.
Yeah, what people go, rub their eyes.
Yeah, night shift. They're not excited to be there anyway, so yeah.
We got Slash.
Yep.
Funko.
I saw it on Facebook. It was only pre-order. I'm like, oh, they're always all on pre-order. And
It's
I walked
cool.
in to get. I walked into Guitar Center and there it was.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
That's why they're smart. They can sell that crap everywhere because they're in every. Do they have it at like what's that kitchen place?
Bed Bath and
Sonoma.
Beyond. Oh, Williams Sonoma.
Williams Sonoma. Like I bet they have like Chef.
Like a Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, and you can go buy him there. Like that's pretty genius when they're like.
I think there are Hell's Kitchen Funkos.
Probably.
Yeah,
There's a
sure
Funko
there
for
are.
everything.
Yeah.
Because again, they can sell it everywhere, where no other like toy, doll, action figure type thing would ever be sold. Yeah.
It's true. Sell them at Safeway.
Yeah.
Like your favorite red person who checks you out.
Carol.
Yeah, Debbie. Debbie at the register later. Yeah, she's great.
And she's got a bobblehead because she just won't shut the hell up. Can you just check me out and I can leave, please?
Bananas are on sale this week.
How are your parents doing?
Yeah. That's pretty, I went to Walmart today for the first time.
Yeah, you're back
in weeks.
at that.
Yeah.
Matt.
I haven't been there in a long time for that reason, because you always run into someone you know, and you gotta kind of chat for a second, and it's just like it can be that much. How are your parents doing?
You guys doing jib jab or something?
Yeah. I was in the Funko aisle too. Wow, I've seen you take pictures. Will you take pictures of my dogs? Yeah.
I tape their buttholes shut until I've done the proper paperwork. So I've gotten permits on where they can poop.
I have to blur out their face. You have to sign a release. It just is that excuse to take a blurry photo? Nope.
No. Zima, it's good for your butt.
Your butt will thank you.
Your butt will thank you.
Amise out.
Explosion.
# Amise.
Well, that feels like about as good a time as any. To call it a night. Amise made his appearance. Got Creepy Doc Holiday over Eric's shoulder.
I got Kermie here. Oh, I gotta get back to Kermie. Oh, I gotta film the Castaway
Dude, you're
thing.
so busy.
Oh, all I had to do was
busy.
get 2 jobs, and then all these side projects pile up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, laughing
So they're
all the way to the bank.
things. So, yeah, sure.
Laughing halfway to the bank.
So much money. Yeah.
Laughing most
Rusty
of the way.
Lincoln's up the Yahoo.
I'm gonna start saying laughing all the way to my mobile deposit. That's more,
Yeah, right.
more accurate. I haven't been to a bank in a while.
Laugh all the way to. Do you have Venmo?
Yeah.
Oh, I did have to go to my bank today because I had to deposit cash for getting paid back for, my budget, what I spent for the play. Not my fee, but and I totally left my card at the ATM. And then today I went in and I was like, they're like, we're closed. I was like, I'm dumb. I left my card. And they took care of it. They found it and gave it to me.
Oh, they found it? No way.
Nice.
Yeah.
They didn't crush it. They didn't cut it up immediately or whatever.
Oh, they did
That's
not.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day.
You're lucky. I had my debit card information stolen, and apparently I was in New Jersey on Thursday. Or what's day? Today's Thursday. Tuesday.
Really?
So, yay.
Do you remember that one time I was in Vegas with you and
That
someone
story
tried to buy
came up
an
when that
Audi?
happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
With your credit card?
Oh, yeah.
That's
We
impressive.
can save that one. That's a good story.
Yeah.
Someone bought an Audi?
Yeah.
They I'll be quick. A common
Sorry,
way
Brian.
to steal and verify credit cards is you do a $1 non-transaction. So go to anywhere that's gonna have you sign something on the way back. So you prepay for gas, and then you take it to a large chain like Walmart or something, and you run up a $20 ish. And then you try to press it with a 200 something. And if your card has not picked up the fraud at that point, this guy was like, I'm going to Audi. And tried to use my card to buy an Audi. And no, they got it. But yeah, Matt
they said,
was in
no,
town.
he's only pre-approved for innies.
Yeah. I was in town with some folks, and my phone rings. I'm like, 1 second. And I went over, and they're like, hello, Mr. Hill. This is my bank. Are you currently purchasing an Audi? I was like, nope. We
Sure
didn't
not.
think so. We'd go ahead and put a block on your card. We'll be canceling and sending you a new one. Would you like to go over some other charges that happened today? I
Yes, I
would.
Yes,
I
would.
really would like to go over some other charges. So yeah.
Crazy. Did you get it all back?
Oh yeah.
I assume so. Yeah.
Well, because it was only $21 aside from that or whatever. Yeah, if they were just
Yeah. Well,
doing
even
the
even those incremental ones, they blocked backwards. But that was in Vegas. The one that most recently happened was, they used my card or a form of my card in New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's 50-50. It's like that's great that the bank's looking out for you.
2020.
But my bank's a
Sorry.
little
So
extreme sometimes because
Yeah.
I've got times where I've been. So I live in Fort Morgan, which is northeastern Colorado. I've gone to Denver for the day and tried to buy like lunch, and it gets declined. Oh, I was in. Where was I? I was in Aspen. That's where I was for shooting that wedding. That last wedding I did.
It's just far away.
Yeah,
Yep,
I just went
far
to dinner, gave her my card.
Do you
Decline.
are you?
Next
I don't
card,
want to
decline.
I don't want to say the name of your card, but are you using a major bank or using a local bank?
No, it's a major bank with a local branch.
Oh, because you can go into them and you probably haven't had the card long enough to develop spending patterns.
Right.
So it's like you're getting these like anomalies.
No, my spending pattern is Amazon, so it's not like so you can't really say where I live. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But no, it's all good and stuff like that. So now I've got it set up so it texts me and says, "Did you just charge? At the Aspen Steakhouse?" Blah, blah. And I say yes.
And then sometimes you're like, I didn't.
Yeah, just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So when you want to, you just drive to a different state, get a giant meal, and then
go
get
go home. Yeah, it's worth a 6-hour round trip.
I have mine has like a spending limit where if I try to spend on my debit card more than like I think $2,500, I have to call and like tell them I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So
Incoming, yeah.
I had a problem for a while where I had a fairly expensive guitar habit, which I still kind of have it, but I've slowed down a little. So every time I'd go in, I'm like, I'm going to buy this guitar. It's over $3,000. So I got to, in one time, I go to the checkout. I'm like, oh, hold on. I got to call my bank and tell them it's okay. So I called once and they're like, can I get my spending limit raised? I'm going to make a purchase. Okay. Where are you spending at? Guitar Center. And how much you spending? I was like, $3,500. And one time person goes, oh, really? It's like, don't freaking judge
Don't
me.
judge me on the phone.
Sass me. Steven
funny.
from Minneapolis.
He was just jealous.
Yeah, I guess.
it's a Millennium Falcon guitar, okay?
But we probably should have just ended with Zima, your butt will thank you.
Always a good time to end it. Folks, thank you for listening. Thank you for everyone on Facebook and YouTube and our one person on Twitch, which is probably still just me, and everyone on Apple and Spotify. Thanks for listening in. And we will see you next week with an undetermined movie, but hopefully this week will finally be the week that we watch Lord of the Rings.
Poppy trash. Time for, well, it's not trash, but yeah, poppy stuff. Time.
Some light and airy. I got you.
Yeah. We got, do we need a palate cleanser or do we need, trash? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And by the
honestly
time you listen to this,
Brazil 2 next week.
Rio.
Portugal.
Like, for real, I don't think I actually don't have the time to watch Lord of the Rings probably until after next week.
Oh, great. Good excuse.
Well, what garbage have we all seen?
Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out. All right, folks, good night.
Our
We'll see you next week.